it's Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I am giving you a first impression of the Verikos Ultra Matte Velvet Primer, which I got from Mimi Box. I'm going to do it in comparison to my Julep Black Canvas Mattifying Face Primer. Let's go ahead and get started. So I've already applied my eye makeup. I am going to go ahead and put the Julep on the right side of my face since I've already used this in the past, so you guys can see how it does up front, and then we'll do the Verikos on the left. Also, if you hear music in the background, I do have music playing for the dogs. It is to help them from barking and hearing noises outside because they tend to get really restless during the day. But here, I do have shimmer that has fallen off of my eyelids and onto my face. So if you see like eyeshadow shimmer, it's from my eyes. And so here, I'm just taking this, applying this with my fingers, and I'm just going to rub this into my skin. And normally I don't put primer everywhere, but for the purpose of this first impression, I'm going to put it all over my face. I don't know if you guys can notice on camera, but the left side is still very shiny from my moisturizer, and the right side has been mattified a bit. And that was, of course, using the Julep Black Canvas Primer. I absolutely love this primer because it does provide a matte canvas to start off, and it does help prevent my oils from coming out much faster than they normally do. And of course, if you didn't notice while I was applying it, this is kind of like a white gel-like primer. As for the Verikos, I'm going to go ahead and apply this to the left side. This primer is a little bit more on the liquid side, and it's more of a flesh tone. And I'm just going to do the same thing, and I'm just going to apply this all over the left side of my face. Okay, so I've applied both primers, and just from the looks of it, to me it seems as if the Verikos side is actually more matte than the Julep side. I definitely don't have as much shininess on my face as when I just had moisturizer on, so they definitely help with the mattifying. I will say I feel like I used a little bit less of the Verikos. It spread a little bit better, probably because it is more viscous than the Julep side. It was much more of a liquid consistency, while the Julep felt more like a typical primer, kind of thick, gel-like. But I'm going to go ahead and apply my foundation. Today I'm using my L'Oreal True Match in W6 Sun Beige. This is my favorite go-to foundation. It, however, does have a pseudo-dewy finish. It's not necessarily dewy, but it's not a matte finish for sure. And because of that, it has a tendency to get oily throughout the day because I do have oily skin. So for this, I'm just going to apply this on both sides of my face, and then we'll see how it looks over the primer. And I am using my Sigma F80 flat top kabuki. So I've completely applied my foundation. I can't tell the difference between either side of my face. They both do look pretty matte considering I am using this foundation. Typically after I apply it, regardless of primer, it has a very dewy, natural finish. It does look a little bit more matte than it normally would, so that's a really great sign. I am going to be checking in throughout the day to see how the primer holds up. Typically within the first 2 hours, my face will get oily. I've said this probably 10 times in this video now, but I do have oily skin and I live in Florida. It is currently 9:58. I'm gonna finish my face, do my hair, and I will check back in before I leave. Okay guys, I was going to curl my hair and do all this other stuff, but I just realized I have to leave right now. So I went ahead and I set my foundation with powder, and I put on blush, bronzer, and lips, and it is now 10:08. I'm gonna change and get out of here. Even with the ring light, you can't really see any shininess, and typically with this foundation, even after setting it, I would have dewiness. I have like zero dewiness. It is totally matte, and I definitely can say it's because of the primer, because it would never be this way any other day. Okay guys, so I've got soccer in the background, which is totally cool if you guys are hearing the sound. But it is 1:52 in the afternoon. This is pretty normal. My face does get pretty oily throughout the day. This is about what my face looks like after 2 hours. So it has gotten me to this place in 4. So it's definitely helped, but as you can see, it does not prevent oiliness from coming out. I feel like they both held my makeup on really well, other than the oil. Like, my makeup hasn't faded. Obviously my lips are destroyed, but they've been destroyed for days. But otherwise, everything else holds up really well. I can still see my blush, I can still see my bronzer. My foundation is still definitely there, so I still have coverage. It's just really oily. But like I said before, I have oily skin. Okay guys, one more update, and it is now 4:30. Oops, I just messed up my phone. It is 4:33 p.m. and my face is much more shiny. However, even though it's like super duper shiny, my makeup has held really well. So as for a primer, both of them do a great job at longevity. I would typically have splotchiness. Some of my foundation would have worn off by now, or from me touching my face, it would have gone away. And I actually took a nap. Well, I didn't really take a nap. I kind of laid down, but I had my hand on my face and I was leaning on a pillow, but my foundation still seems to be intact. You can tell right here where I was leaning on my hand that it's kind of worn away on the edges, but the rest of my face has held up really well. So as primers, they're really good primers. However, as far as controlling oiliness, it doesn't really do that. It does prolong the mattifying look, meaning it looked matte when I finished, which never happens with this foundation. It typically looks dewy, and I didn't get oily as quickly as I normally do. But it doesn't necessarily prevent it, so as you guys can see, I did get oily. I am going to dab it with a napkin really quick, which I hadn't done all day. I hadn't touched my face. I just kind of let it get crazy. And now it looks almost as good as it did as when I applied it. So with blotting, it still holds up really well. I don't feel that either of these primers are better than the other. As far as the two primers are concerned, I think they're both really good primers, period. Typically when I look for a good primer, I look for one that'll help fill in my pores and make my foundation go on smoother, and I felt like both of them did that. And I also want a primer that will help keep my foundation on longer, which I do believe this also did a great job of doing. It did rain, it was humid when I was outside, and my foundation and my makeup held up really, really well. And I honestly think these two hold up really nicely against each other. I think they work just as well, and I would definitely compare these and say that they're both just as good. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like the video, comment down below, and of course subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. And if you guys want to see any first impressions or reviews on anything else, please let me know down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Erica from Brains to Beauty.
Hey guys, it's Erica from Brains to Beauty, and today I wanted to do something different with my Influencer Surf's Up Vox Box, so I decided to film outside. Let's get started. First off, the box came with a card showing all of the details of the products as well as all of the social media links for each brand and product. The first items are 2 coupons for Jamba at Home Smoothie Mix, 1 coupon to get 1 for free, and another to get a $1 discount. The next item is this First Aid Shot Therapy